Guys, I need to talk to you about the game, which is a timeless hit, game with the greatest graphic, soundtrack and gameplay. The game on which generations of people have been raised on, and the game that has been also an inspiration for plenty of developers who've been releasing the games for over 2 decades, and also releasing games even right now. Also, this game for me, as an Central European, is one of the greatest things ever. The place on the map of the world where we take the best and the worst things from both sides of the globe. Literally our surrounding can look like this and like that at the same time. No matter the season, no matter the weather, no matter the place, there will always be kids who play that game. Even this goth girl from your class back in the day who had no idea about metal and thought that Metallica is just some kind of a window producing company would be like, oh yeah, I know this game. Anyway, this game has been a definition of what the fantasy settings are. Also all the roleplay game, RPG settings, magic, different factions and monsters, races, around this kind of a settings and style of the games and the world. Some of you might have already realized what game I'm talking about. I'm talking about Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Yeah, I don't know what it is with this main menu, but it always gives me such a massive nostalgia rush. But even if you didn't play this game before, by just looking at the main menu you can tell that this game is going to be an epic adventure set potentially in a fantasy world with knights and demons, undead, and somehow basically going to wage the fate of this world. It's amazing, and just look at the design of those buttons. You know what to press to just get right into it, and their design really makes you wanna press them. But one of the reasons why I got back into Heroes 3 is the sheer amount of mods which are still being actively developed and supported by its community. And one of the, you could call it mod manager or launcher that I'm using is VCMI. You can easily get it by just searching on Google and downloading their launcher. It's very easy to use, go ahead and do it. They also have a Discord community, so I believe there will be people happy to help you there if you've got any problems. So once you install a launcher, you will probably be prompted to allocate the game files, and those are the best to get through GOG, because you need the original copy, so get the game from GOG and just select the appropriate folder. And God forbids you from getting the HD version from Steam. This is the cursed version, just avoid it, okay? The things might be looking more flashy and shiny, okay, but avoid it, okay? You're missing out. Just better get the GOG version and then VCMI. You'll get something along the HD expansion, if not something better, using the mods. Following that, you will probably be prompted, from what I remember, to download 2 of the modifications, which are also considered as actual expansions right now, because they are so popular, like official expansions. Those are the In the Wake of Gods and the Horn of the Abyss. Those mods basically give plenty of modifications which can expand your gaming experience for hours, days or years. And once you got the mods, activate them and everything and start the game again, your main menu going to look a little bit different.
Hey!
But this is still the same game, but better. And then you got different options to play. You can play single player by choosing specific fixed scenarios, campaigns and also multiplayer. I usually was choosing single player, because there was already plenty of fun to have there. And depending on the scenario you choose, it will come with its own story, and some of them are actually quite good.
The year 3434 of the Second Age. Here follows the account of Isildur.
Well, for some of them you will have to judge by yourself, and very often with its own preset settings, such as factions you choose or characters. This one here, for example, was requiring me to play as Cove, which is kind of a pirate faction.
Do you feel this?
But this particular scenario, although it comes with its own story, it allowed me to choose whatever faction I wanted. But then it is important to remember that depending on the starting town or faction, as I call it, you have to embrace specific tactics or method of gameplay to take as much advantage as you can from buildings and armies that you build and recruit in a town. The same kind of principle applies to the hero that you choose for your town. Well, this is what the game is centered around, the heroes. So they come with the specific abilities and starting armies that will help you at the beginning of the game. But remember, your hero cannot be master of all things. you have to choose between being a great wizard or great warrior or great tactician, leader. Those are kind of the skills you have to pick while leading your armies and gaining experience. Okay, now when we are familiar with basic setup of the game, let's have a look at the actual gameplay. Already by starting the game you can see there is a lot going on. There is some kind of a bonfire, there is a tower, there is also some kind of an obelisk and some characters like this octopus looking monster. I won't be explaining properties and function of every single item and structure that you encounter on the map, because we could spend hours over here. And also I believe that this game is about adventure.
I'm going on an adventure!
Learning about those yourself will really constitute a big part of fun that you have in the game. But know that plenty of the items that you encounter on the map might be the resources that you need in order to expand your kingdom, or magic artifacts that will give you bonuses to your abilities, or specific structures that will give you a bonus to your morals or luck. And this of course will contribute to the roleplay element of the game, which is the story you build for your main character or hero. Okay, but let's get back into how you encounter and collect all those things that I mentioned. Well, obviously by exploring the map. And some of those maps are huge. Believe me, by just playing single player scenarios, you have thousands of hours of gameplay with additional tweaking of the difficulty settings. And can we actually spend a minute or two on admiring how beautiful those maps are? Playing through the scenario maps, which are beautiful handcrafted maps, can really make you feel and immerse yourself in a mythical and magical world similar to that of Tolkien. While exploring this world, you will go through all sorts of environments, from vast woods to rainy bogs, frosty mountains, and volcanic wastelands. And while exploring those lands, you won't only find the monsters with whom you have to fight with. You'll find different structures such as catacombs and tombs, which exploration can reward you with great treasures, or buildings that will allow you to recruit the units from different factions, or different academies or monasteries that can reward you with the great wisdom or skills in the martial arts. Power! All of this made me feel that the more I explore, the deeper into the land I get, the further away from the castle I am, there are greater and more powerful monsters to be encountered, as well as greater rewards, such as artifacts with amazing power.
By the power of Grayskull!
Which makes exploration even more rewarding. So all of this will lead to the amazing storytelling, through the environment and encounters that your main hero has. So for example, one day your hero leaves with the great army, only to come back after many weeks with just a few soldiers. But in return, he brings the great treasures, gold, crystals, with plenty of artifacts that lead to growth and development of a beautiful castle. And this is just one of many stories that your hero can experience. You can fall to the enemy champion. You can get lost in the tomb and die to its guardians, or you can literally open a Pandora box and die. So as you just heard, there are many ways to die, and to prevent that, you have to build your own armies. But it's not really that simple, because you have to build your castle from this to that. And it actually can take many turns before you build the buildings that you need. Some buildings allow you to recruit specific units, while the others got specific economical bonuses, and some require specific structures to be built prior to their construction. But remember, each castle is unique, with its own benefits, perks, and units. And you might ask, how many are there? Well, this really depends on the expansion you downloaded. But if you downloaded the expansion I told you about at the beginning, you will be able to play as Castle, Ramparts, Tower, Inferno, Necropolis, Dungeon, Stronghold, Fortress, Conflux, Cove, and Factory. And the simplest way to describe their armies or units is humans, elves, golem, satan, skeleton, badass, orcs, lizards, elementals, pirates, and steampunk. Every single unit will have its own strengths and weaknesses, as well as special abilities. So manage your castle carefully, because it can have a detrimental effect on your main champion. Once you get your own army, you're ready to explore the world and face some of the enemies. Initially, the battles might look very simple, but I would rather describe them as advanced game of chess. where each unit got its own unique movement and set of abilities which they can use at any point. And no battle is similar, and many of them will be very difficult. And in addition to this, you have another card up your sleeve, which is your hero who've got set of magical abilities. For example, he can use magic spells to curse and damage your enemies. Or, if he got a tactics skill, he's able to arrange the soldier's position before the start of the battle. And did I mention that based on the environment where you encounter your enemy, the battle map will be different? Which is another small feature that lets you immerse yourself in this world. And we should mention something about the soundtrack. It is amazing. Each battle, each area where you're at will have its own music. Also, the sound effects around the items that you pick up or the structure that you enter is amazing. Have a listen. To summarize, I would say that Heroes 3 is an extremely complex game, which is not extremely hard to learn, but it is definitely difficult to master. I've been playing this game for over 20 years now. Yes, I'm that old. And I don't think I even scratched the surface of all the tactics, strategies, and the methods of gameplay. And despite all those many years, there seems to be a demand for this kind of a game. Some time ago we had Song of Conquest, which was very good, and right now we have upcoming Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era, which should be kind of a re-release or reimagination of original Heroes 3. Although I would recommend cautious, because Ubisoft is involved in that. On the other hand, I heard somewhere that apparently Hooded Horse and Unfrozen got the whole creative direction freedom regarding that project. So if you haven't played Heroes 3, I really recommend you do. And if you played it long ago but didn't know about the expansions, go ahead and download VCMI. This game can provide many hours of fun in the expansive magical world with beautiful art style, music and stories to tell. So I hope you enjoyed today's video about Heroes 3. As I already mentioned, go ahead and play it. It's real fun. Okay, I think that's it for now. In the meantime, I wanna wish you a nice day and I hope to see you in the next one.